Let's watch what unfolded, and it starts with the former President Donald Trump speaking to this crowd in Butler, Pennsylvania.
Were you watching CNN Live?
Yes.
Did you know exactly what was happening?
No, no one did. We saw Trump had just come on the thing, was just starting to speak, and about maybe a minute or a minute and a half, I don't know what, his hand went up to his face, and then he dropped down. And he dropped down. Nobody pushed him down, but you're told to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, drop down. And he dropped down, and then the furor started. You know, people rushed in, and then we began to get reports from. Somebody said the shooter has been. They didn't say at first that he was dead. They said something about the shooter has been apprehended or something like that.
Neutralized, I think they used later.
Yeah. I'm old, and I have watched too much of this. I saw the Kennedy assassination. I saw the man that killed the guy that killed Kennedy.
Sara Jane Moore's motives were confused. Her purpose was not.
I knew that that's the only shot I would have was a headshot. He came out, looked right at me, and after I fired the shot, he stopped. Cold, and I did have time for a second shot, had never planned for a second shot, had practiced and was psyched for one shot.
I mean, I've got to ask you, Sally, this has got to bring back some sort of PTSD for you.
Yes and no. It's been a long time, and I've done a lot of things, and I've traveled all over the world, and I have more control of my emotions and more control of things than I used to. And as you get older and see things, they don't shock you as much as they should, as they should, because you've seen too much.
Yeah. I mean, we don't even know who this was, but.
No, not at all. But we will get a report and they'll tell us.
Yeah. You know, it occurs to me that the day that your incident happened, you could have been neutralized.
Absolutely. And I thought I was going to be, because the police came right up straight at me. They didn't shoot me or anything, and grabbed my hand. And I was just stunned that the guy was coming right at me.
Yeah.
And of course I was stunned that I missed. So
Did you have no fear that day?
No. When you psych yourself up to do something like that, you go into whatever it is that it's sort of like being in a play. You rehearse, and then when the time comes, you just do it. Now, I was surprised because I felt somebody come up against me in the crowd, which men frequently do, and I started to spin around to slap his face. And I immediately realized that he was gay, so I just turned back. And he says he saved Ford's life. He didn't, but let him have that.
Yeah.
And then that got to be a really big thing because his parents did not know that he was gay. And yet he was a member of a gay organization in San Francisco. So how could his parents not know? I mean, he was a gay activist. This is not somebody that I outed as gay, although they claimed I did. I didn't.
Yeah.
Because he was a member of a gay organization.
I yelled, "The bitch has got a gun," before I made the lunge for it, as the trigger was going off. I grabbed her, and about 10 agents and 20 police were on us all, like, just like that.
That's the one regret I have, that it was not successful.
And I had an escape plan that would have worked because I met somebody who used that escape plan, and but I didn't have a chance.
What if you had succeeded, though?
What if I had
What if
succeeded?
someone died that day?
I would have thought that I was successful and I would go on about my business. I don't think anyone would. I think I would have used my escape plan, which was, people don't pay any attention to women. And I'm definitely a woman, a womanly woman. And so I'd have gone out and gotten on the streetcar and gone up to the top of the hill and gone into the hotel up there and sat down and had a Coke or something. And no one would ever have even thought about it. There was so much, just like you saw all the business that happened with this, people skimming around and coming out. There's so much furor that you have if you keep your head about you, you have a very decent chance of escaping from anyone. You just have to be careful and have and I knew exactly what I was going to do and where I was going to go and what hotel I was going to be in. And
You told me once that the feeling was, back in 75, that Ford was not a legitimately elected president.
he wasn't.
But that was not,
He wasn't elected to anything. He was appointed.
but that wasn't the widely held belief, was it? Or was it just the belief of a few?
No, it's not the belief. It was a fact. It was a fact that he was appointed.
But that's not what motivated your rage.
Well, yeah, it was part of what motivated me.
You are the people who pay the taxes and obey the laws. You are the people who make America what it is. It is from your ranks that I come, and on your side I stand.
Do you think you were not shot on the spot because you were a woman?
I don't think they knew, because the first thing they did when they got me over into the hotel was pull my pants down. And they said, "My God, it's a woman!" Hmm? But I mean, I'm obviously a woman. I'm not a masculine-looking woman or anything. I had, pretty hair and everything. So it never occurred to me that anyone would think I was anything but a woman.
Yeah. I know that you had been a theater actress. And if you were, like you said, psyching yourself up to play a role, I mean, was this full immersion into another character?
I don't know. It's been so long ago, and I've deliberately not thought a lot about it.
Yeah.
It happened, so it happened. And I went on with my life after that. It cost me a little bit, well, a lot. I did 34 years in prison. 34 years in prison. I was supposed to be non-parolable. I was supposed to be in prison non-parolable, but Congress made me parolable.
What's different about today and that day in 1975?
Well, that I'm old and weak and not a participant, but just a viewer looking at CNN. I'm a totally different person.